Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. It's been quite a week for everybody I know, and it was the release of the 1,000 frequencies for the WAVwatch and an update. And of course, we're finding a few little glitches or things. So, hang on. It's a new product, but I think we'll get it ironed out there. And I do apologize for that. Just to make sure, some of you have ordered the TF cards. And we tried to put in a booklet for a TF card, but we may have missed the idea that if you order 2 TF cards, we need to send you 2 booklets. So don't hesitate to give us a call, or excuse me, just a text is fine, or an email, and let us know if you need another booklet, or the PDF is supposed to be online so that you can also download it if you want to share it with somebody. So we are going to be talking about blood ideas today. So I'm going to go ahead and just click right in. I hate to waste your time. I don't know if you can tell I was a teacher, and boy, I only had, 45 minutes. So we got to get to work here. So that's where we're at. So we'll see if I have some new information for you that might be valuable. All right. So there's some more ideas. More and more of us are realizing that there are so many things in our world that can be causing some problems. So I was able to add a folder for blood ideas, but I'm not sure I got everything that I should have. There might be a few things that I missed, But I will remind you before I dig too deep that we are on WAVwatch Frequency Fanatics. That's a private Facebook group, and you can, email people that link or whatever you'd like, especially if there's a particular topic. One of my favorite ones lately has been some information about strokes. And, if you know somebody that's had a stroke, wow, why not just send them that information? Because wonderful testimonies there. So you can go by topic. You could find a topic. Also, these have been transferred over to Rumble, and I have quite a few videos on YouTube now. And don't forget, our website is just WAVwatch.com. Just wanted to remind you that people are still skeptical of frequencies, and you're like my advertising media, or you're the front runners to telling people that no, sound frequencies do affect our body. They've known it for thousands of years. For some reason, that idea was lost in history, taken away from us, whether it was on purpose or not, we can't say. But they are now starting to embrace sound frequencies a little more, and there's more and more information coming out and more tools for sound frequencies. So the WAVwatch is one of those. And I have done little PowerPoints in the past to kind of show some of them. And I think my vision with the WAVwatch was to have an overall tool that could provide you support with a lot of ideas, with a lower cost, obviously no monthly fees, something that everybody could use, something that was very portable, on your wrist. And I think I have had the most fun with the idea that they have little mosquito repellent watches that you wear on your wrist, and they make one sound. And I believe when I saw them to start with, they were $40 for that one sound. And the WAVwatch has mosquito repel on it also. And I have had several different testimonies on that, and also about the stings and the bites and things like that in that same category. And we have now 999 other frequencies for, more money, obviously, but that just makes you think, people are going to be developing things, and they could develop for just one idea. And how many tools do you want to use, and can you remember to use? So my idea was one all-purpose tool. And we've gone over this before, and I don't know if there's anybody new here, but those are the reasons I tried to work with the WAVwatch and put it together the way I did. Now, at this point, you can be assured that I've made the last update that I can to the WAVwatch. The TF card is completely full, and that's what I was trying to make sure that I could do that, and I could put some more frequencies on, and then, that is it. That's all I can put on there. So I don't know any other changes that I might make. That's pretty much it. So today we want to talk about anemia for blood disorders, and anemia is the biggest one. So I just jumped right in on that. It's very common, and they're saying that more than 3 million people in the U.S. have it. But what I really clued in on was this WHO, estimate. Of course, we don't know everything about statistics, but almost half of our younger, under 5 children could have anemia. And then 40% of pregnant women worldwide could have anemia. So this is actually a way bigger problem than just the stats in the United States are showing us. Because if mothers are pregnant, then their children are born, or when mothers are pregnant and their children are born with anemia, the problems go on and on. So it can be something that we want to pay quite a bit more attention to. And we try to make it easy, like I said. So I think this is the one that really stood out to me, just an idea that there are more than 400 types of anemia. I'm not in the medical field at all. I'm in the energetic field. And there was no way that I had that figure in my mind. So more than 400 types of anemia. So they basically do have it grouped into 3 ideas. It can be caused by blood loss. It can be caused by faulty red blood cell production. And it can be caused by destruction of red blood cells. Now, this is one of those times I wish I was somebody that knew a lot more about blood cells, because it really is fascinating, all the things that they can see in red blood cells. Very interesting. And some of you may have gone to people that draw blood and work with that. Now, if you're feeling some of these symptoms, you might consider playing some of the files that I'll be showing you that are new files on the WAVwatch. And so lots of fatigue, dizziness, memory problems, muscular weakness, Well, I've had a lot of muscular weakness lately, but I just moved and I packed hundreds of boxes. So I think that's my problem. So we do have to kind of go through some of our ideas, obviously. Shortness of breath, changes in your stool color, hair loss, yellowing in the eyes. And there are quite a few pictures of this on the internet. Chest pain, irregular heartbeats, pale skin. And I wanted to say that I did see some information that really pale lips on women are a sign of anemia. And I tried to find a picture, but the way we play with our lipstick today, there wasn't anything that was just cut and dried. But I thought that was interesting that sometimes, we can see from our skin, pale skin, but pale lips is a huge problem. And some women are specifically doing their makeup to hide the pale lips. So what a problem. So if you have that and you are trying to hide it, then obviously you need to be doing some more work, getting some medical attention, seeing what is going on with you. And then the spleen could be enlarged. So you may not know that. How would you know that? So there would be some ideas along those kind of lines. You might be able to feel, the enlargement, but could possibly be slightly enlarged, and you wouldn't know that you were having that trouble, and therefore trouble with your blood. So when they do a blood smear, they're looking at 3 different types of blood. And again, I'm not an expert in this. I'm just, giving you some information here. So our red blood cells are going to transport the oxygen, and the white blood cells are going to fight the infection. And the platelets are cell fragments that help clot the blood. So those are kind of three major ideas that they're able to evaluate and see where you're at on that. So here's what's new on the WAVwatch, the newest one. And if you're interested, if you have an older watch, which most of you do, you can go online and order a new TF card. And there are directions, just click them online so that you can change that TF card out. And I don't know if I can show you really easily here. I never thought of this, but see this spot right here, this slot? It's right beside where your charging port is, right here. And this slot here, all you do is take your fingernail and push it in, push your fingernail into that slot, and a little tiny TF card will pop out. And then you would have the new TF card in the mail, and you're just going to put it in the same way it came out. And you just push until you actually, hear a little click or feel it get snug and kind of pop in place. So that is really pretty easy. It's a 15-second exchange, really. But I have had a couple of people that said they really didn't have fingernails. And then they were trying to poke it with a sharp pointed object. And that's what you do not want to do, because that would put uneven pressure on this slot right here. You want to, if you don't have fingernails, wait until you can get somebody that has fingernails, that are wider, or find a tool that is wide. You don't want to just put pressure on one little tiny point that would skew the TF card and mess that up. But it should be, again, a 15-second exchange for that TF card. So this is a series of an addition I made, and you can easily see that we're talking about blood today, that would be a very good one. So Lynn has actually updated me and said one of them didn't work. Now, I haven't personally sat there and tried all 150 frequencies, and I do apologize because they didn't give me the chance to review these before they made 4,000 of them. So there may be just a couple of mistakes that will have to get improved. So I do apologize in advance. New products, but it's a little hard to take sometimes when they missed letting you go over the information that had been sent for an update. Anyway, what I can say is that we have anemia, and specifically iron anemia, on the WAVwatch. So those would be very helpful. And we all need blood cleanser, many different ways to think of that. And you can also expound on that. That's what I think the WAVwatch really shows us, is that our body is so connected, where it's kind of disappointing sometimes when we go into our medical system and they're all specialized and they're not connecting one problem with another, or this problem caused this problem and this problem. So let's take a prescription, and then we have this problem and this problem added to it. And you can see I'm going circular. Our body is just all interconnected. So with blood cleanser, we might not know specifically what it's cleaning out, but we all know that we need our blood cleansed. Then if you wanted to expound on that, we've got the whole detox folder for blood cleansing. And then we have also the germ folder to get your blood cleaned out, specifically if your white blood cells might be low. So that's kind of taking care of that idea there. It doesn't say white blood cells, but that would be what it would be supporting, would be the blood cleanser and the blood diseases. So we also have the hemoglobin production, coagulation disorders, platelet disorders, and platelet storage pool frequencies to choose from. Now, don't forget these frequencies go through your body, 4.3 times the speed of sound. But a major question is always, how long should I run it? How long should I run it? I can't tell you, and I am so sorry. They do say the minimum time is about 8 minutes. But if you know you really have anemia, wouldn't you loop it several times, maybe even play it all night long, and then work on some other ideas? Now, don't forget, these should not bother you. I've had a couple people once in a while that think that frequencies do bother them. And, it's kind of up in the air. But my idea is it's a sound frequency. And if a sound frequency bothers someone's body, something is really, really wrong, because they shouldn't be able to hear somebody talk to them. They shouldn't be able to hear the TV or music. Any of those sounds could set them off. So I don't think that that's actually right, that these frequencies bother someone. There might be something else in the mix that needs to be analyzed. So again, this is not FDA cleared by any means whatsoever, but they do not, tools that work with sound frequencies are considered safe. Okay. Also, if you are having trouble with anemia, you want to make sure that you are playing spleen and liver ideas, because after all, these help in the production of red blood cells. And so if they're not working correctly, then our blood cells are not going to be obviously optimal and on par. So the liver is huge, and we tend to forget about that. So do make sure that you play through the liver, but the spleen also. And there's just a shorter number of spleen ideas. The liver has a few more frequencies, but there isn't any reason why you couldn't loop these together. And then I think we should be playing kidney diseases. So we've got all kinds of kidney ideas that you could play if you're having anemia or any kind of blood problems. Now, also the immune system. And I'm sorry, on the left side, I made some of them are really small so I could get them in. But what I wanted to point out to you was there are new frequencies for vitamin A deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, vitamin B12, which is huge for anemia, and then vitamin D deficiency. So all of those could be helpful. Now, they don't take the place of not eating, or eating incorrectly. You still have to do all of those things, and we need to be doing 3 or 4 ideas. Our bodies respond in different ways at different times. Also in this idea, the thymus gland stimulant is new, I believe. Lymphocytes stimulate. There's one I forgot about. And then autoimmune diseases is new, and chronic diseases would be maybe some other newer frequencies that I have on the WAVwatch that are showing up there.